Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's sing Shabbat in together. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. A ceasing, a time of peace. That's our gift. Every week we get this as a gift, a whole day where we don't have to worry. We can just put that aside until 3 stars appear in the sky on Saturday night. We can take a deep breath. So let's light the candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, l'chad likner, Shel Shabbat. And there's the light. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni LaShalom, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu. So we've just invited the angels to come in surrounding us. So you need to look for them. Look around this next 25-hour period and see if you can recognize anybody. They might look like a human, but inside is an angel. Okay, you have to look for them. Messengers, they're messengers from the Holy One, bringing us more peace. Okay? And we'll invite the bride in, the bride of Shabbat, after I take a drink. This is just water. Okay. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishme'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litchila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. To keep and remember was heard in one word. Two words combined together, and we light one candle for each of those. To keep Shabbat and to remember Shabbat. They came out as one word when God spoke. And so that's what we're doing. We're keeping and we're remembering Shabbat. So I want to read to you a part of the special psalm for Shabbat. It's good to remember this, that the righteous shall flourish like palm trees. They grow very tall. Grow tall like the cedars in Lebanon, rooted in the house of Adonai, in the courtyards of our God, they'll bear fruit. Still fruitful in old age, they remain ever fresh and green, proclaiming that Adonai is just, our rock in whom there is no wrong. Even though a lot of times we don't get it. It doesn't make sense to us. One of my teachers once told me that it's like a tapestry where we're looking at the back with all the threads hanging out, and it looks kind of messy. But God's looking at the front where everything is finished according to some plan that we can't understand. But there you have it. Well, this week in our Torah, we've been going all the way from the beginning of creation to Adam and Eve to Noah and all the families, the generations, and it came down to the family of Abraham. And Abraham had a son, Isaac, and this week we have the story of Isaac's children, the twins, Jacob and Esau. Now I really should say Esau and Jacob, because they were twins and Esau emerged first from the womb. Now there's a custom in ancient times in the part of land where they lived in Mesopotamia and then in Canaan, that the firstborn inherits everything from the father. The secondborn, the thirdborn, maybe they get little gifts or something, but the major bulk of everything goes to the firstborn. Now don't ask me why, because I don't know why, because that's a very problematic system. It creates competition between the siblings. And in this story this week we have, it's a painful story. We have Isaac who he's not feeling very good. He actually lives on after this, but he thinks he's dying. He's not feeling very good. And he says to his firstborn, Esau, and he favors Esau because Esau is a hunter. He's a macho guy. And he says, oh, please go hunting and get some game and make me that delicious dish, my favorite dish, and bring it to me so that I may bless you before I die. So Esau leaves, and meanwhile, Esau's mother, Isaac's wife, Rebekah, has overheard what's going on here, that Isaac is going to give his son the main blessing. Now, in that blessing is not only Isaac's worldly goods, which is cattle and, well, when I say cattle, we think of cows, but in the Middle East, they're talking about sheep and goats and camels and donkeys. So it's not just that Isaac is wanting to bequeath to Esau, but it's this very special blessing that God gave to Abraham, that you will become the father of nations, that you'll be blessed in everything that you do, and that all the nations of the earth will be blessed through you. And I'm bringing you, this is what God says to Abraham. He says, I'm bringing you to this special land. And that is the blessing that Isaac has received from Abraham, and he wants to give to Esau. Well, Rebekah, her favorite son is Jacob, and she does not want this to happen. And she's also, this is very important, she's been tipped off by God. God whispered in her ear that really the blessing is supposed to go to Jacob. So she calls her son Jacob. She says, do what I tell you. You're to dress up with, we're going to put hairy skins on your arms, go out to the herd and get a couple of goats, and I'll cook them up like the way your father likes them. And you go in and make believe that you're Esau so that you can get the blessing. And Jacob says, come on, Mom, Dad's going to be able to tell. And she says, his eyes are dim. He's slightly not seeing well, and he doesn't feel well. Just do as I tell you. Well, Jacob does. He gets the bowl of stew that his mother makes, brings it into his father. And Isaac says, who are you, my son? Are you Esau, my son? And Jacob says, I am. And he's lying. And Isaac is doubting. He's doubting a few times. He says, he feels him. He feels the hair on his arm. And he said, the hands are the hands of Esau, but the voice is the voice of Jacob. So Isaac's kind of on to this a little bit. Nevertheless, he eats the stew and he gives the blessing to Jacob. Now, there's also, this is really important. Once you give out a blessing, it's like blowing feathers in the wind or something. You can't take it back again. You can't change it. It's gone. It's out there. And so Jacob has gotten the blessing, and he leaves. And no sooner does he leave than Esau comes in. He says, here, Father, here's the stew I made for you. And Isaac says, who are you? And he says, I'm your son Esau. And Isaac says, oh, I gave the blessing to Jacob. And Esau cries out. He said, Father, have you not one blessing left for me? And Isaac does give him a blessing, and it's a generous, it's a loving blessing. But the big one, the promise from God, that's gone. It's gone to Jacob. Now I have to tell you where the portion ends this week because it's really important. So Rebecca hears this as well, and she says to her son Jacob, you have to leave and go back to Haran where my brother lives and get out of here because your brother Esau wants to kill you. And Jacob has to get out of town fast. And that is how Jacob leaves home. This is the beginning of Jacob, our grandfather, our great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. This is the beginning of his spiritual journey based on a lie and having to run away from his own brother. It's a sad beginning, right? Where could this end up? You have to wait till next week to find out. It's a very dramatic story, right? So sing with me. We ask for peace in this song because this is a stirring up story, so we need a little peace, okay? Oh, say shalom bimromav, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling more filled up, more filled with the Spirit, different a little bit than when we began. And when we feel this filled up place, this is a wonderful time to share the fullness with people who may be feeling a little weak, who may be sad, who may be ill, who may be depressed. So bring those people's faces and names to your mind, and we'll give them a blessing of healing. Take a moment and bring them to mind. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habraha limahotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habraha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. For those of you who might have had a recent death amongst the people that you love, even the people you don't love, but somebody that you know in your circle may have died, or maybe you're commemorating the year anniversary of a death. So again, think of those names, or at least imagine their faces. You can say them out loud, and we'll say Kaddish for them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ul'almei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata ta'amiran b'yama v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. I want to say a word about Thanksgiving coming up. It will happen before I am together with you again. And Thanksgiving's something we can do every day. We don't have to reserve it for one day a year. And if you want a recipe for feeling good, if you're kind of down, whatever, a magic thing you can do that will make you feel better is thinking of the things that you're thankful for. You can try it right now. Think of one thing that you're thankful for. I'm really thankful that I have a sister who, whenever she goes to this grocery store that has flowers, she brings some to me. And that's what these are. And they brighten my day every day. And I'm very thankful for her. And I'm thankful that God created flowers. What a great idea, huh? So that's a gift that we have, is thinking of the things that we're grateful for. Even in hard times, there's always something you can find. And it's worthwhile doing it. Okay, we're going to say Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim. And we begin every meal with bread. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, my friends. I hope you have a peaceful and Shabbat filled with angels. Don't forget to look for the angels. And I will be with you again next week, God willing. I'll be here. All right? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.